show. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. Now I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council. Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
I guess that's just the extra chair.
Well, this is for the in here.
For what?
This for. I don't know what this is for.
Hey. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It is Friday, and I can't wait. Because I got a Denim and Diamonds to go to. Can you ask Kyle about that since he's around here? 833-212-1017. It's Friday. That's all I'm saying. It's Friday. All right, so I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, Kyle Wallace, and we were talking because the news came on, and the news talked about some people, and I just want to know, what's going on in American politics? Like, So, I don't know if you heard. Still frozen from yesterday. Nancy Pelosi said that she's running for Congress again. Yeah. So, I'm like, well, but then the conversation went to, well, what about Joe Biden? I thought Joe Biden was going to do 2 terms, but then after he got midway through his, Joe Biden is too old. He has no business running for president. I don't care how you feel. Oh, you're just bashing him because he's Democrat. You're bashing him because he's old. You're bashing. I don't care. He does not need to run for a second term. Why? Because he's too old. No, it's not age discrimination. Some people might say that, but I think it comes down to the fact that once you get over a certain age, you need to go somewhere and sit down. I actually have a plan. When I get to a certain age, I'm going somewhere and sit down. Walk, do some writing, maybe do my own radio show, off a computer or something that's completely innocuous, right? Nancy Pelosi is going to run again for the 20th term. That means that she's been in Congress 40 years. She's 83 years old. When she's done, she'll be 85, 86 years old. There's no reason why Nancy Pelosi is in Congress. There's no reason why Joe Biden is running again, which gives us 2, right? Because I like to run a balanced show. Hey, Mitch McConnell, go somewhere and take your old behind home. Somewhere, I don't know. You're getting old, dude. I tell my friends, I tell people that I know in my family, if I get that old and start doing that, y'all need to take me somewhere and sit me down. Now, don't take me out back and tie me up and just leave me out there. But at some point, I'm going to want to enjoy life so much. Sit at the beach, go for a walk, watch the sunset, watch the sunrise, look at the water, walk with the animals. Being in Congress? Nancy Pelosi's 83 years old. And, by the way, that other guy, the orange-haired dude, Donald Trump. Dude, go somewhere and sit down. Old white guys and old white women. Now, let's not get it twisted. We had some old black guys in Congress, too, that needed to go somewhere and sit down. You don't even know who you are. You can barely walk. Why are you trying to walk through the halls of Congress? Stop. Let somebody in, new, fresh, in their 30s, 40s. Yep, let them take over. But at some point, we got to start asking ourselves pertinent questions. Locally, too young, no experience, came through the ranks, only knows politics. Wants to be another Barack Obama, wants to be another whatever. What are we doing that we have not moved out people in their 70s and 80s out of Congress? We need an age limit to Congress. And you know, the weird thing about Congress is if you stay X amount of years or you're elected X amount of years, you're automatically vested for a pension. Nancy Pelosi is a millionaire. What in God's name does she need a pension from the federal government for? In that instance, what does Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and Joe Biden need one for? I mean, I get it. That's the system. I got one from the government. But it's not $1 million. It's not $250,000. And so I'm trying to figure out why you and I allow old people to represent us, as if we're afraid to vote people out, as if we're afraid to tell people you need to hit the road. It's like when you come into politics, it's your job for life if you want it. And I say that because we got a couple of people here in the state of Wisconsin in the House of Representatives and the federal government that need to go too. You shouldn't work your way up in Wisconsin, from the state to the city, from the city to the federal government, and from one branch, and just keep working your way up. We have to tell people to leave. It's time to tell people that are over 75 years old, you got to beat it. That's me. When you hit 75 years old, you cannot run for office, any office, not president, not governor, not state rep, nothing. We should put an age limit on it. I know it sounds sexist. And I know it sounds weird, but I'm sorry. We have to start to ask ourselves a question that we need to understand. Talking text line, Spike Lee said Biden the same age as Trump, 81, Trump 79. Should Trump run also? No, he shouldn't run. Absolutely not. Should not run. The way to get older people out is to vote them out. Keep people voting them in, must want them. Not necessarily. They just don't like change. That is a very good point, Spike. People just don't like change. But it's time to go. I think it's time to go. Should I take the call? I think it's time to go. 833-212-1017 is the number. During my Dr. Ken's Truth, I'm going to do something I don't think I've ever done before. John, you're on the all-new 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm just fine. And I'm also 87 years old and still working.
Okay.
What I do, and I have a vision that young people can't come close to it. I'm constantly arguing with young people about something that doesn't even begin to make. They're doing something that doesn't even begin to make sense.
Such as, can you give me an example?
What Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi have is wisdom. And you can't get wisdom. First you start out, everybody has some intelligence. Applied intelligence turns into intellectual. Intellectual over the years becomes wisdom. But over the years is the only way you get it, and it's irreplaceable.
But here's my... Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Well, but you had to start somewhere. Nancy Pelosi started, I believe, if I can divide right, in her 40s. Why can't somebody else start right now in their 40s? Does she have to be there?
She's invaluable.
No, she's not. When they came in, they were at a younger age. They were in their 30s and 40s. They had to take somebody's place who was older, wiser, and more valuable. So why is it they can't be replaced?
They can't because the wisdom.
Nah. So they were. Yes, sir.
I have the wisdom. I see things that, as much as I respect Sherman Hughes, I have watched him grow. I'm looking forward to seeing him when he gets 60.
Uh-huh.
He keeps on, and I don't know how old you are, but there's something special about when certain people, the older they get, the better they get.
I think that's something. I think that's something that should happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but at what point do you move out the way and let younger people come in? We can't just keep holding on to wisdom. You should be giving that wisdom away.
Well, I think you know when that happens. If you get this age, you know, I'll know. My father told me when he retired,
Yes, sir.
he said, son, you retired, but don't ever stop work.
Okay.
Always find to do. He said, sitting around will kill you quicker than anything else.
Yep.
At 87, I clean cars for a living. I'm good at it.
But I'm not saying quit work. I'm saying as a politician, you should not be in office.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I'm still listening. I'll see you later.
I respect that. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
So at some point, I mean, I get what he's saying. Never quit. Always be active. Give away your wisdom. Give away your experience, because that's what it's really about. But at some point, you need to move out the way and let other people take over. Organizations I'm in, I'm moving out the way. I am talking to people. When people are interested, they're grooming themselves. I'm helping groom them to move myself out the way and letting other people come in. And I don't understand why that's a problem. I don't understand. George said, you are big on saying that maybe it ain't me, don't talk for me. Now, if they are in sound mind, cool. So that should have been just I don't understand your comment, George. Try to clean that up so I can figure it out. But bottom line is, if you haven't done your job to groom people to come take over for you, that's on you. If you make people wait too long and they have to take it from you, that's too bad. But it is important that we usher in the next generation so that they can start to grow and move. Look over their shoulder, walk with them, give them some direction. You know they're not going to want it. They're not going to take it. You didn't. Until what? Until it clicked. If we want to fix this, we need to really make sure that we groom people to take over and move out the way. Everybody has a shelf life. And when it starts to look like younger people need to take over, I did just that. Moving out the way, letting people take over, put their voice, their print, their energy, their love, and let them go. 833-212-1017 is the number. Thanks for calling, George. Now, what was it you were trying to say?
No, because when I read it over, it made perfect sense. I don't know why you like to play like
Okay.
Always, especially to me, don't talk for you. Talk for yourself.
Right.
That's your biggest line you use. So how can you speak for them? They may. What I'm saying is that if they're in the right frame of mind, I'm good with it. But if they ain't in their right, so if they in the wheelchair, where they might be physically, something wrong with them, but then they found mind, I'm good with them.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So if they're in their found mind, let them run. And since we want to put an age on it, I know what you said about the poor people, but what about the Supreme Court? I feel like some of them, if we going like by that, just a couple of them, that should not be a lifetime position.
Okay. I'm in total agreement. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you much, George. All right.
My man.
I mean, it's. I'm trying to read what you wrote. You didn't put any punctuations in it. There are no periods or where stuff stops and stuff. That's why it was difficult for me to read, because I'm reading while I'm talking. So it's not just you, George. Ain't nobody trying to jam me. But anyway, it's at some point, and this is my, speak for me. I'm speaking for me. And the reason I'm speaking for me, because that's my opinion. I'm saying it about me. Like, I'm literally pointing the finger at me. Doing this, when I get to a point, that number's already in my head. When I hit it, I'm out. Hey, we want you to finish. I'm not. I'm done. I think everybody should be like that. That way you're able to groom people, help people come in, give them your wisdom, and then get out of their way. 833-212-1017 is the number. Black Conscience, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Being your Luther is not as well received over the radio.
Yeah. That's right.
But I totally agree. I'm holding up a finger too, but it's not pointing. It's going upward just with the verb. Because Mitch is not in his right mind. And I do not believe that doctor cleared him and said he's 100%. I just don't believe it. The man is apparently deteriorating in front of us. But to the question you have about what, why, and all of that, it's the power. You can't relinquish that power once you get a taste of it. Not everybody, but those in Congress and their constituents have them in there to go along with their agenda. So if he was to drop off, that next person, whoever in line or whoever they're going to place there, wouldn't probably see it their way. So it's a lot of political pull, under the table stuff that goes along with that.
But can't we put something in? Like, for instance, I think people don't like the Supreme Court being lifetime because it's conservative. But if it was liberal, everybody would love the fact that it was lifetime, right? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. If we set it up in advance where, hey, this X amount of years, it has to be Republican-led. The next time, it has to be Democratic-led. Then it had some kind of system so that we can make sure things get closer to parity, because we're out of control politically.
But that will go against their power, their hold on power. And even though that makes a big sense, and a majority of Americans will probably agree with you on that, they would, again, it would strip them of their power.
Yeah, that's true.
And, we could do a lot here with Wisconsin, but they wouldn't necessarily affect the other states. So we can only control here within these state lines.
Right.
And, we also got to look at the people who's voting them in at this age and continue to vote them in. It's because they have their agenda, their best interest in their agendas.
Well, it's not the older people, because it's not enough of them. So it's got to be the millennials. And it's got to be the millennials and the Gen X.
Millennials and Gen X are starting to get tired of this, and we're all starting to feel that they are way too old to really represent us, coming in with those old ways.
No. You're talking about baby boomers. Talk about baby boomers.
Them too.
Baby boomers are too old. Baby boomers, then Gen X. Well, technically, the silent generation, then baby boomers, then Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z.
They're completely out of touch with the Gen X and younger, the ones that are voting age.
Not true.
Uh,
That's not true.
well, you know,
Well, I disagree. I'll put it like that.
okay. Well, you can disagree because this is where we live at.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're not speaking their language.
but we're the ones in power.
Are we?
Yes. Boomers are in power. Dude,
Yeah.
Trump,
Well,
Pelosi, McConnell. They're boomers, dude. They're older baby boomers. They gotta let go. They have to let go.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. It's time for fresh blood to be in there, fresh ideas, and leading this nation into the future. Because these crypt keepers are really. That's what they're gonna be rolling out. You know, we got the crypt keeper coming out. The senator said he would like to pass a tax bill. And then so that's just a little humor on it, but it's getting to that point.
Oh, we're there already. We're there. We got some folks locally that are too old that we need to get rid of too.
And that's the world we live in. Dr. Kidd,
All right.
the Mrs. have a great weekend. Live like it's Milwaukee. Stay black, straight, strong. Keep moving along.
833-212-1017 is the number. I gotta ask the question. If I don't, I'm gonna explode. I know it's Pop Off Friday, but give me a number. How old is too old?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Coming with straight
That's
truth.
the title.
Once you cross that line of destruction and the police get you, and now you want your mama to do something now, you want people to react, talk about free such and